It be time to be pirates. Arr. Me hearties, we're going to find some buried treasure. Well, it might not be buried, but hopefully we're going to find it all. And we're going to have fun doing it. It's going to be, yeah, it's navigation. How do you find buried treasure? You do it by navigation. So what are we doing here? Waiting for the live to come up, as usual. So my name is Caroline from Bubbly Maths, and I'm delighted to be presenting materials from AIMSEC and the Aiming High website. These materials are what they call low threshold, high ceiling, which means that wherever you are, you can dive in and play it. You can even play it at what 5-year-olds do, because it's not silly. It's just simple. So you can start off with the simple and then work your way up to doing not just vectors, but almost with doing arithmetic with vectors. And if you don't know what vectors are, that's fine. It's that's for probably 14 to 18-year-olds. And so if you're not 14 to 18-year-olds, you don't have to worry about vectors. But if you look at them and they make sense to you, you can still play with them. And that's the whole beauty of the low threshold, high ceiling, that you can start at the beginning, have fun with it and keep going up until you get to a point where you're like, okay, I don't understand this now. I was good up till here. Now I don't understand. And that is perfect, because that is the point where you're going to learn something new. And you can sit with that and keep coming back to it. You can go and research it if you want, or if you think, oh, it's too much for me right now, that's fine. Walk away. But then when you come back to it later on in life, even if it's just 6 months later or 12 months later or 5 years later, it's not the first time you'll have seen it. And that's the beauty of these activities. So that's what we're going to do. Now, still not coming out. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Here we go. So I'm going to start the watch party here. And what I just discovered yesterday is a watch party literally disappears afterwards. So share a watch party, please. But remember, it'll only be temporary. And you can't actually link back to a watch party, just if you didn't know. Once the watch party's finished, I certainly couldn't find a way of linking back to it. So there you go. Something new. So I'm going to now share the screen. Well, no, actually, I'm not. I'm going to play on this one here. So here's our pirate. Here's our pirate ship. Those are our vectors leading. Well, they are vectors, but they're this basically we're just going north, south, east, and west. So we're going to use we are going to use actually the That's not what I want to do. I do want to share the screen. I was wrong. But where is it? It hides. It hides. It hides. Okay, I have to cancel that. So this is why I need a technician to be with me at all times when I do these lives. I apologize. In the meantime, you can imagine what pirate treasure you're going to find. Oh, visualizer, there we go. Right, visualizer is active. That wants to go up a skosh. Pens ready. Okay, and okay, that seems to be in position. Now I've just got to share it with you. Share, 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 boom. Share, yes. Okay, now we're going to use the size grids we're going to use. We're going to use slightly bigger sizes than that are on this paper. We're going to use each of our grids is going to be, let's have a look, see what actual, how big the grid is that we're going to be looking at in a minute. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, look at that. How perfect and unintentional is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I've done the last one. If you create this grid yourselves, while I'm doing this, you create this grid yourselves, then we'll be ready to play. Now, this is on the, whoopsie, this is on the activity pack. Way, straight lines. It's hard to do when your arm is fully extended. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start, oh, better put the north, south, east, and west. Let me make sure I can see what you're looking at. Make sure you can see what I think you can see. Always helps. How do I see what I think you can see? Okay, that'll do. Sorry about my scruffiness. That's okay. Here we go. So we're going to go like this. Where this is north, which way is that up for you? Yes, that's north, that's east, that's south, that's west, that's northwest, that's north, east, that's south, east, and that's southwest. Okay. So we're going to start at, just double check at which point we're starting. We're starting 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting, whoop, different color, intensely different color, maybe this one. What we're going to do is we're going to follow the path, and then, whoopsie, and then you're going to go off and do some activities afterwards. So it's 1, so it's 2 in, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. We're starting here. I'm going to call this point 1. We'll call this P1, and you'll find out why we're calling it P1 later. So now we're going to follow the, okay, so it's a pirate. All right, me hearties, I be pirate. Kaz the pirate, and you be in trouble because I'm going to find your treasure and I'm going to put it on my pirate ship. So let's see what we're going to find. I'm going to go 3 squares north. So 1, 2, 3. I've gone here. I'm here now. And now I'm going to go 1 square southeast. So I'm going to put that here. I'm going to get rid of this now. Much as I like it, we're going to get rid of this, and I'm going to give you the instructions on here. Now, so we're going 3 squares north, 3 north. And then the next one is diagonally. We're going to go 1 southeast. So I'm just going to be very clear on that. We're going to go that way. That's the direction we're taking in the box. And then we said, yes, you don't have to follow the lines. You have to follow the lines if you're going north, east, north, west, or east, or south. But if you're going diagonally, then, oh, right on here. So that would be, you're going to go across, diagonally across like that. Now you can't see what I'm doing here, so I'm going to change the screen. Right now, I've just realized this is where I'm writing the instructions. So we've got 3 north, 1 southeast. Now I've got to see my instructions. Then we're going to go 2 northeast. So yes, that's going to be 2 boxes. 1, we do 4 boxes. It's going to be 1 and then 2. 2 northeast and 2 south. 1 southwest. So just to be clear, that's going to be a diagonal. Whoopsie. That's east. 1 southwest. And if you've got a compass, if you're not sure, if you go north is up, south is down, and then east and west spells we. And the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, at least in the northern hemisphere. But still in the south, it's still the same. The compass points don't change in the southern hemisphere. So it rises in the east, sets in the west, and it spells we, but the sun goes that way. So the sun goes the opposite way. Just little things that I do. I like to remember where I was when I see the sun rise. I know if I'm on the east or west coast. And when I'm at the ocean, that's me. And if you're in Cape Town, it's easy because it rises over the Indian Ocean, rises, and then it sets on the Atlantic Ocean in South Africa. Okay. Now, where are we? 1 southwest. Next. 4 squares east. And then 4 south. Now, if you haven't downloaded the activity yet, then you won't know what treasures you found, what you picked up to put on your, one of the things is, I'm not quite sure I would have picked that up. I think I would have encountered it and not necessarily engaged with it. Maybe run quickly to the next destination, I'm not sure. And you can also, there's one of them where you can imagine all the different things you might, I don't know if actually you get to that one, but these are the things you're going to do. And then what treasures do you find on the way? So you now got to download the activity in order to find, so if, okay, now I'm going to move back to the move you back onto the, here, okay, share, there you go. So we've gone 3 north, have you done it? 1, 2, 3. We've gone 1 southeast. Then we've gone 2 northeast. And then we've gone 2 south. And then we've gone 1 southwest. And then we've gone 4 east. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've gone 4 south. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've ended up here. These, if I've got that right, please do double check me. I have been known to be wrong a lot. It happens to me a lot. And that's why it's always really good to double check everything you do. So I'm not going to double check it. I'm going to let you double check it for me, please. And if I've got it wrong, please correct me. That would be grand. And your next challenge, well, first of all, download the activity, find out what treasures you have. Hold on, stop that so that when I talk to you, you can actually see me. So I'm actually big head talking, not little bitty head talking, which is what I often do. And now let's see. So I'm now going to have a look at this. And so now you have gone from this point, that point to this point. Now, what I'd like you to do, well, okay, I am going to let you know that at this point, this is Pirate 1 going on a journey, Pirate 1, and Pirate 1 meets Pirate 2, meets up with Pirate 2 here. Now, Pirate 2 hears about all the adventures that Pirate 1 has been on and sees all the gold. And then Pirate 1 says, well, we didn't have room to pick up everything. So there's still something left at all the places we went to. So then Pirate 2's job is to actually now go everywhere in the picture. There's places that Pirate 1 never even went to, and pick up some treasures, or you can even write a story describing which direction you went in, what you found, what you did. And for example, if you found some treasures, you could describe how much treasure you picked up, describe it in quantity as well as shapes and what you found there. Just make it a mathematical story about the adventures of Pirate 2. Do you think we should name these pirates? The first one's obviously called Kaz, because that's how we started. And what's the other one called? So this is Kaz, Pirate 1. Pirate 2, Do you think it should be female pirates? Well, you know what? The girls can have female pirates if they want, and the boys can have male pirates if they want, or we can have neutral pirates. It's all good. What should we call the second one? Well, there is that famous pirate, isn't there? Captain, oh, I don't remember his name, but what about Bluebeard? Or we could have Bluebeard or Blue Hair. We could have Captain Bluebeard or Captain Blue Hair or whatever you want to call it. It's all good. Right, it's up to you what you call your pirates. So yes, Pirate 2, your objective is to pick up every single bit of treasure. And yes, please write a story or make a video about the, make a video make a little film. Be creative, come up with some fantastic things. And it's all about navigation. So remember to use your compass points. So that's that job. And there's some extra help here if you need it. And it does point out as well that just so that you know, when you're taking about how much time it takes and things, the distance from here to here going straight across is different to the distance across. It's further from this point to that point than it is from that point to this point. Just a little note there. If you find that useful in your story, please do mention it. And then once you've followed our island, our sea adventures, create and draw an island yourself and hide some treasure, and then give instructions to somebody else for them to find your treasure. How's about that? And see if you can, that way you're testing if your instructions are right, and you're also so if they're following your instructions and your instructions are right, then they'll find the treasure. But there might, and you'll find out if there's any errors in your instructions, or they'll find out by keeping on attempting it. If they're not following them right, then they'll learn, basically, is the top. It's what I mean to say, is that they'll learn by doing it. Okay, so that's for upper primary, lower secondary. You can play this with younger children as well. You just might need a little bit of extra help. And then we've got all the compass points, and that you can also pretend you've got robots. So we did this a couple of weeks, well, last week we did it, Command the Robot, and it was using logo, and there's links in the downloadable activity sheet about the other activities, which are called, I think it's called Command the Robot. And there's a link where you can download logo, so you can actually make a program of to get your pirate to go to all the different points, and you can draw shapes and things and do a bit of coding as well. So that's a bit of an extension. And you can also do it yourself. Yeah, command somebody yourself, say, right, now turn right. So if you say turn right, you mean 90 degrees. You're going to turn fully right. So if I'm facing you, turn right, I'm turning right. But I'm not doing anything else, because all you've told me to do is turn right. You haven't told me to move. So turn right. Now take 2 steps forward. So I take 2 steps forward. Now take 5 steps backwards. I take 5 steps backwards. So, and then you can write, but you can do 2 things. One is you can write the instructions down, and then somebody else can read them to somebody and see if you can get them to actually make a shape, or even draw an amazing picture, like of a tower or of an animal. See if you can actually get them to follow instructions, so that you maybe draw legs and things like that, and see if your instructions by somebody else telling them to a third person, then you're testing your instructions to see if they work. Or you can do it on a piece of paper. You can do it where you're telling someone, if you've got some square paper, you can get them write a code, just write instructions one at a time for them to go, now left, turn right, turn left, turn right. And if you're here and you have to think about if you're actually turning left or right here to go that way. And if it's upside down, are you turning left or right? Because the instructions are going to be the same, and you've really got to follow them. And it's a great exercise, and you can do it by writing instruction, get someone to follow them, and you can code using logo. So you can ask questions like, okay, now turn to face east. Which way did you turn when you turned to face east? Was it left or right? You've got to work out which way's north. To use north, south, east, west, you also have to start off working out which way is north. So that's a nice one to do as well. So that's, and there's loads more. There's loads more in this activity. Lovely, lovely things. Now, and then the last thing we're doing, the last thing for upper secondary is we're talking about vectors. Now, vectors are written slightly differently. It's essentially a similar thing, but it's more scientific in the way it's written. So let me just make a grid of 4, maybe a few more. And a vector, when you write it, basically is, if you say going from here to there, you've gone across 2 and up 2. So the vector for that would be 2, 2. If you went something different, if you went back, so this way's always forwards, positive, and that way's always positive. Down is always negative, and that way's always negative in vectors. When we're talking about vectors, it's the same as in graphs. So if we did that, we'd actually be going -1 because we've gone back 1, and then we've also gone down, so it's -2. We'll look at one more. If we were going up that way, and the arrow shows which direction we're going. So it's not just a line, you have to have the arrow to know whether it's going in a positive direction or a negative direction. So this one's going, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do, sorry, I'm going to change that. I'm going to go this way. So this time we've gone positive on this third one, we're positive on the x-axis, on the horizontal, but we've gone down, so it's negative, and we've gone down 1, 2, 3. So we've gone positive 1, 2 and gone down 1, 2, 3. And those of you that are studying vectors, or if you're in upper secondary, sort of if you're between the ages of 14 and 18, this would be a great exercise for you. And it doesn't only talk about the vectors themselves, you have to identify vectors. It also talks about, you also have to do operations combining vectors to see what the end result is. So there's some great activities in here, and I hope you enjoy it. I certainly have been absolutely loved doing this activity, and I'm now going to just pop into, if you are enjoying it, please do share these lives, and please do tell other people about the group, Making Maths Fun for Kids of All Ages. This activity is specifically for, well, not specifically for, it's designed for 7 to 18 plus. I mean, I'm enjoying them. I'm 58 for crying, you know, it doesn't matter what age you are. If you want to enjoy maths and learn a bit more maths, just do it. It's great. And then what else? Yes, and there's on the YouTube as well. We're putting videos up on the YouTube channels. So that's Maths Toys YouTube channel. So if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe, and then you'll be notified whenever we have new videos if you click the notification bell. And then Bubbly Maths, I'm doing videos for all these activities as well as lives. So enjoy. Please come and join us. I'm going to have a quick look to see who's joined us this morning. Stephen Ainsley from Portugal, great to see you. Lucy, hi. Russell, hi. Andy, the clown from Lowestoft. Salvo, the lovely, wonderful Salvo from Southend. If you're from Southend, you'll know Salvo. He's the guy that does the balloons in town. John Frosty Cooper, Paul Southcott, hello. Good morning, Salvo. Yes, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. I trust you are as well. I've been reading your posts. I know you're doing well. Barry Roberts, hello. And Sammy, oh my goodness. Sammy, it's lovely to see you. Tommy Templeton, it's always lovely to see you, Tommy. Thank you for joining. I don't see any comments apart from the one from Salvo. So thank you so much. And I'm now going to find the way to end the live And oh, in a few minutes, 33 minutes, we'll be doing the live for early years as well. So that's a different activity, more about moving about, although I have difficulty now in my new studio, which is about that wide, it's about that deep. So I don't have much room to move around, so I have to pretend to move around, to use my fingers to move around. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you later. We're going to play games tonight.